Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jess and Lewis. Answer your questions for the week of Wednesday, November 8th, 2000 and what is it, 17? Are we 17 or 18? Jeez, I don't even know anymore. I swear I'm sober this time. 2017. Yes, 2017. I have not been drinking this week. Last time that I was on
Phew.
air, I was a little bit blasted. Just to those pizzeritas and vodka, they sneak up on you.
What did you have?
Pizzerita and vodka. It was a pizzerita and vodka kind of night.
What's a pizzeria?
Comes in a can. And
Oh, that's deadly.
yeah, yeah. The thing is with those is that they sneak up on you. It's like 5 minutes in, you're like, "Oh, I'm totally fine." 5 minutes later, you're like, what day is it?" So, but
Oh
I
man.
saw the playback, and I thought I held it together ish. Okay.
You were pretty giggly.
I was very giggly. I can be a giggly.
That was funny.
I'm a bit of a giggly drunk when it comes to stuff like that. So
Good. That's better than being a mean drunk. Giggly's the best.
giggly's good. There's giggly, sleepy. There's a few types of drunks, and
Yeah.
But how are you doing, man? How's it going?
Good. Everything's going well. So far, so good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's the middle of the week, and we're gonna do this for just a bit because I gotta be up for work tomorrow. And I start tutoring, and just a whole bunch of different opportunities popping up. So things are pretty good.
Yeah, you started something new, right?
Yeah, I left my old position and I took up another position in a different county. So I'm working there right now. Pays a bit less, but with all the extra stuff that I'm doing with tutoring and doing Saturday school and things like that, I make up the difference and then some. So in a way, I'm doing a lot better.
That's good. That's great. I'm happy
And
for you.
and so far, it's a lot less stress.
Then I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're just in the process of figuring out if we're just going to renew this lease or if we're going to move and all this other
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
That's the downside of living in that's the downside of living in an apartment. It's do I renew the lease? Do I move? Do I take the price increase? Things like that. So
Yeah. And there's always a price increase, there seems.
there's always a price increase. Only this one isn't too bad. It's only like an extra $50 a month. And so I've seen it be a lot worse. I've seen people get like $300 tacked on to
No.
their lease a month, and it's just ridiculous. Yeah, like a great example of that is my girl's parents. They had their, I think it was, what was the rent increase, like $400 a month?
Whoa.
Yeah, it went from 16 to 19 a month.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, almost $2,000 a month that they were paying.
So they got out.
I don't blame them.
Living in Florida is not cheap.
I guess not.
It is a pain in the ass. Hey now, Drummond Art, Scott Greenleafs. Huh?
That's Ricardo.
That's Ricardo?
Yeah. I can't see the questions, but that's a Howard Stern reference, the hey now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Carlos, how's it going, everybody? Sakura Darling, there's a few people already in the chat, 16 people watching. It's an okay start for a Wednesday night. Most people are just kind of watching TV, things like that. Watching Gifted, which I still haven't seen. I think that's Wednesdays.
It's on Mondays. It's great.
Is it really? I need to sit down and watch it.
Great. I love it.
Something else I need to watch. Okay, so just catching up with you. Have you seen Star Trek yet?
No. I don't want to subscribe to another channel. Is it great?
Star Trek, I haven't seen it. I've heard mixed things. I've heard the Orville is actually a pretty good Star Trek knockoff, like a parody of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing Hulu. I'm thinking about doing CBS All Access or whatever it is, but I'm gonna have to research Star Trek and see if it's really good, because that would be the only reason I did it would be to watch Star Trek.
Hulu,
the first Star Trek I haven't watched.
Hulu is worth it. In my opinion, Hulu is definitely worth it. They've got a lot of good stuff on there. The big stuff that we have is Hulu, Netflix, HBO, and Hulu, Netflix, HBO, and we have Crunchyroll and Funimation for anime.
Oh yeah,
So we have a
yeah. I have Crunchyroll too.
oh, and Amazon Prime. So we
Oh yeah.
basically the big streaming services we have, and we still come out a lot better than if we had paid for cable.
Oh, I bet.
It's always funny when they try to reach out to me and call me and say, "Hey, we've got a great deal for you for 30 extra bucks a month." I'm like, just stop right there. I'm not gonna.
You've got to watch The Gifted though.
Is it really
really, really good? Good production values. The acting's really good. The story's good. It's really awesome.
Scott Greenleaf says it's 3:35 in the morning having a coffee before work. Jesus, what do you do, man?
Where is that?
I don't know. At 3:35 in the morning?
Is that Britain?
I think that
Is
well,
it the
Ryan,
UK or something?
isn't that Ryan's time frame right now? That's close to it, isn't
They're
it?
5 hours ahead of us, so yeah, that sounds like it. I think it's 2:30 where Ryan is. Or I don't know. I don't know what happens with daylight savings times. Maybe they're 6 hours ahead of us now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I hate that shit. I hate daylight savings time. It always just completely throws me off.
I just don't like that it gets dark early.
Have you seen Thor yet?
No, I'm seeing it. What's today? Wednesday? I'm seeing it Friday.
I still haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Oh, here we go. Nicholas Takala. So actually, this is something I wanted your 2 cents on. So Bendis, huh?
Oh.
What do you think? No, what do you think?
Well, I happen to be a Bendis fan.
Okay.
I know that he's a polarizing writer for some reasons. A lot of people don't like him, but some people do like him. I happen to like him. So it's fine with me. I think it'd be exciting to see him write some DC stuff because I'm way into DC Rebirth right now. So I'd be happy to see him given something really cool. You know, like Legion of Superheroes. He'd make me want to read that. I'd read anything he wrote. I like all his stuff. I know that his Guardians didn't get a lot of love, and he didn't necessarily stick the ending on that recent X-Men run that he did. Although I liked the, I'm blocking on. There were 2 X-Men books that he wrote, and I can't.
All New X-Men, and I forgot what the name of the other one was. Was it Uncanny?
Maybe, yeah. He did well on one, and then didn't stick the. It was when he brought the past ones into the present, and then the future ones showed up too. That was awesome, I thought. So, but yeah, I felt the ending was kind of weak on one of them. But I like his stuff generally. I like I liked his Spider-Man. I liked his Daredevil. What else do I like by him? Alias. I like
his Avengers, all 30 books.
I didn't actually read that. Let's see. Let's see. What else has he written that I like?
Scarlet. Did you ever read that?
Scarlet. Oh yeah, yeah. I like that. I liked his. I liked Powers. I like his crime noir series. Yeah, I like Scarlet a lot.
I couldn't get into it. I couldn't
Okay.
get into that or Powers. I tried getting into Powers twice, and it didn't grab me. The Retro Girl, the first volume, I think is like Who Killed Retro Girl. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
Pretty good. But after that, nothing really of that grabbed me. It's interesting. Well, before I give my 2 cents, who would you like to see Bendis write? Like if you had your choice, you are a DC editor right now. Bendis, in all his Bendis-y glory, shows up at DC Comics and says, "I want to write somebody. Give me something." Who would you give him?
I'd have him take over Justice League.
Really? You'd give him the keys to Justice League right off the bat?
Sure, why not? He's Bendis. I like him. So Justice League was in the New 52 a great title. In DC Rebirth, it is not a great title.
Is that
Um,
the Hitch stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, Felipe, who is a
yeah,
DC apologist, says it's not
right,
good. Then you know it's really bad.
exactly. So yeah, get it jump started. Give it to him. That's what I would do.
That's a good choice. Um, Personally, I'd like to see him do a reboot of Gotham Central.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a good crime writer, and that's a great crime series.
I'd like to see him reboot Gotham Central, or I'd like to see him do a question, the question mini
Ooh, that's a
series.
question series. That's a great idea.
You could even have him with, with DC incorporating the Watchmen. You could even have him do like a Rorschach miniseries or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the thought of a question series.
Mm-hmm.
I love the question.
Is the question even in? Have they done anything with Rebirth?
Um, if they have, I haven't seen it yet. I have to admit, I haven't read all of Rebirth yet. I'm doing my best to do that, but I haven't read it all yet, so I don't know.
Or you know what, with the announcement of the new movie that's coming out, I think if he channels his inner Ultimate Spider-Man, I think he could do a good Shazam Captain Marvel series.
I'd love that.
I think it would be a really great Captain Marvel writer if they just let him. All right, here's Captain Marvel. Here's just play. Just do whatever you want to do with it, and here you go. Because Bendis tends to skew continuity. He really doesn't necessarily give a damn about
he doesn't care about it, right?
He really doesn't care about continuity. So give him something that he won't hurt the continuity too much. So give him something like Captain Marvel or The Question, Renee Montoya, things like that, Gotham Central, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
Okay. I think it'll be interesting. I know there's rumors that Hickman has been made an offer from DC too. That would be huge. That'd be amazing if he went over there too.
It would. It would even be more amazing if he would finish a damn book.
Yeah. He has to finish Architects of Forever for S.H.I.E.L.D. first.
And along with Manhattan Projects and along with everything else he's got over at Image Comics. Hickman's such a frustrating writer for me because I have a love-hate relationship with Hickman because I love the first deluxe edition of East of West. But I started reading the second deluxe edition of East of West and I couldn't slog through it.
Oh, really? Okay, I liked it. I didn't like it as well as the first one, but I still liked it.
I could not get through it, and I think Hickman is just a writer that I'm not a fan of his writing style, where it just takes him forever to get to something, and it's just not for me. It really isn't. I'm more of I like Garth Ennis because Ennis he's fast. He keeps the pace moving in a book. He really doesn't slow things down too much, and when he does slow things down, it's for a reason.
He's easy to get into.
Exactly, yeah. Like Preacher, after the first volume of Preacher, that book just keeps going. And it just keeps rolling and rolling until the very end. There's very little downtime in Preacher.
Yeah, East to West can be a little ponderous sometimes. You're right.
That's a good recommendation. Nerd Vision says, I want Bendis to work on a Lex Luthor title. Matches Paul's head.
That'd be good too.
I could see him doing a Luthor title. I think Bendis leaving. Okay. First off, does Marvel have anybody over there left? Like, is the bullpen at Marvel just empty except for Charles Soule?
I don't know. That's a good question. They still turn out some books that I really enjoy. They may not be by name writers, but they do turn out some books that I really enjoy. But they do seem to be losing some big time writers.
Yeah, like I'm honestly expecting Axel Alonso to show up to work one day. Hey, what? And there's nobody in the office. Like they've shut it down.
Marvel bullpen.
Yeah. Because what it seems like is like everybody is jumping ship. It seems like everybody's like, yeah, we don't want to work with Marvel. We're gonna go do our independent books, or we're going over to DC Comics. and it makes me wonder. Jason Aaron's still writing Thor, but for how long?
Yeah.
Probably got a contract with him, and then who knows what's going to happen when his contract is over, because he's also got a few books out with Image Comics. He's got The Goddamned, which I think that finished, didn't it? Was that a mini? Because the hardcover came out.
Yeah, the hardcover came out, but I haven't gotten to it yet, so I don't know if it's finished or not.
He's got that. He's got Southern Bastards, and he's got a few other projects he's working on.
I'm trying to think what other books that I really like. They've got a lot of young writers that I really like, but they do pull the plug pretty quick on them, is probably one of the problems. Like how fast they pulled the plug on Mockingbird, which was such a good book.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it was really good, and it deserved a heck of a lot more than 8 issues. And then they botched the well, we don't need to turn this into a what's wrong with Marvel segment, but I think they have a lot of young good writers still, but it sounds like they're losing some of their known name top tier talents. But I think they still have some strong writers that are still left, as long as they keep Christopher Hastings for Unbelievable Gwenpool. That's the most important book.
Yeah, I mean, they've got strong writers. There's no debating that. My concern is that they don't have, with Bendis leaving, they don't have the name grabbing writers. They don't have the Snyders or the Johns or the Morrisons, where if Morrison puts out a book tomorrow, I'm guaranteed to at least read issue 1. If Jeff Johns, who's doing the Doomsday stuff, the
Doomsday
Clock stuff, I'm guaranteed to read issue 1 because it's Jeff fucking Johns. It's Jeff Johns. Of course, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like if I think one of the people said like Ed Brisson put something out, I'm like, okay. You know, it's not going to draw me in, and it's not going to draw in a lot of people like Scott Snyder. When you hear Scott Snyder's name on a book, Scott Snyder is a name that has, like, I've got cousins that don't even read comics, and they've read Scott Snyder's run. It's got mainstream appeal to it.
Well, I think Marvel still has a lot of young natural talent writers that they just need to nurture properly and make them the next wave of well-known writers. But they got to give them a chance. They got to let these books grab an audience and promote them properly. You know, blah, 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 whatever's wrong with Marvel. Everybody has their ideas. But I think this could be a good opportunity for young writers to make their name, maybe.
That's true. I'm excited personally for Bendis. I think it'll be a breath of fresh air for him as well. He doesn't have to necessarily write 30 or 40 books a month or however much he was writing before.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is a great new direction for him. He's lost a lot of weight too, and I think he's been posting lately on Twitter and on Instagram and stuff like that. He's doing more things that make him happy, because apparently the guy wasn't as happy with himself before. So he looks good. He looks real good.
Oh, okay, good. Good for him.
He's lost a lot of weight and stuff, so it seems like he's trying to take himself into a more positive direction. And if this is part of it, this could mean great things for DC Comics. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Good. Yeah, me too.
So
I think it's great news.
People like to give Bendis hate, but the guy wrote some of the best Daredevil stories. You know what? I will go and say the best Daredevil stories that have ever been written.
Yeah.
He also wrote Jessica Jones. Bendis, in the early 2000s, saved Marvel in a lot of ways.
Where's my Alias Omnibus? Oh, there it is.
It was Bendis and Millar that really pulled Marvel during the early 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know enough about early 2000s Marvel to disagree with you. I just happen to know that I like what they wrote.
Jess, real quick, somebody's asking, sorry for my ignorance, but do you have a channel?
Do I? Yes, I do. It's called Omnidog's Vault. I'm Omnidog, and I have a vault.
Yes,
it's Omnidog's Vault. Thank you for asking.
Bendis on Wally West.
Whatever, sure.
Yeah.
Wally West isn't my Flash. I'm a Barry Allen guy, but you can make Wally. If you can make Wally interesting, good. I mean, that's a generational thing. Like Hal Jordan's my GL, and Barry Allen's my Flash.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people love Wally West, so that's fine.
I'd like to also see Bendis do JSA. I think it'd be pretty cool if he could take on the JSA.
That'd be yeah. Justice League needs a new start, so give it to him.
A lot of recommendations coming in. Somebody saying they should get rid of Neil Adams for Deadman and replace him with Bendis.
I agree with that, 100%.
I knew you would agree with that.
Get rid of Neil Adams for everything. Yeah, no. I totally agree with that.
I knew I wouldn't get too many complaints from you. How's the Man Cave 3.0 at this point?
It's good. I still have a little bit of cleaning up to do. But for the most part, everything's back in its place, and I just have some tidying up to do. I got rid of a bunch of things. I actually unloaded a bunch of pops and figures that I'm going to give to a friend, Paul Alper. So they're strewn about the room, and I got to collect those up and get rid of them.
I also got a few books from you as well.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever start The Inkle?
I have not. I'm actually planning to sit down with it sometime this weekend.
That book takes concentration.
Which is part of the reason why I'm going to just wait till the weekend when I have some nice peace and quiet and downtime.
Yeah.
Really sit down and take it in.
Yeah. You can't be distracted when you're reading that book. It's a great book, but you really need to concentrate reading it.
So that's probably going to be most of my weekend plans is the Inkle and get a few things done around the house and stuff like that.
Cool.
And all that good stuff. So let's see. Mr. Johnny Kid says, hi, Bendis on any Earth 1 books, Bendis on Wally West. They have Mark Waid, but 2 out of 3 books he's writing I just wasn't feeling. How is Captain America, though? Have you read Captain America?
I haven't read it.
Have you heard good things?
I have heard nothing about it. So I don't know. I'm not qualified to answer.
Well, you haven't heard anything. Me either, which is kind of weird considering it's the Daredevil team. It's Waid and Samney.
Samney, yeah.
You would think you would hear more buzz about it, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Well, Raleigh Smith is the guy to ask about that. He's the Captain America Supreme fan, so I'll ask him about that.
Is it really?
Yeah. If Ricardo's still watching, Ricardo, you owe Raleigh that drawing, so get to it.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, how's the statues?
You mean this one?
Wow, that thing is huge.
It hasn't been discovered yet. So it's still, she's still there in her glory. It's really cool. I had to go onto YouTube to figure out how to put her together.
It's beautiful.
It was pretty complicated.
It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah, it really is. But in reality, I did sell some books to put money towards that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I, stole from our college fund for it. So that's the story I'm going to use.
Saving the John Hahn protocol, huh?
Right. Well, no, that John Hahn protocol is that other people bought it for me. I'm going to use that for Zatanna when she comes in the spring.
Okay, guys, here's a little insider tip for those of you out there. This is called the John Hahn protocol. If you ever want to get something, you can only use this about twice in your lifetime in a marriage. About twice in a marriage. After that, you're just pushing it. If you ever want something, say a friend, a cousin, or somebody sent it to you.
Well, not a cousin. It has to be like a Facebook friend because then there's no accountability. If it's a cousin, though, she can call up the cousin and say, did you really do this? But if it's Facebook friends, then she just has to accept it.
Yeah. And everybody in the Omnibus group has the fall guy that they blame when they get something they shouldn't get with their wife. And in this case, it's John Hahn.
Yeah, he invented that he got 12 Facebook friends to agree to say that they pitched in and bought him this statue. I can't remember what statue it was.
I forgot what it was.
It was something big. It was like an XM statue or something crazy, really remarkable. It was beyond a sideshow.
Yeah, that only works about twice in a marriage. After that, then you're really pushing it.
I'd be afraid to use it more than once.
Would you really?
To be honest with you, yeah. Yeah, women are way smarter than we think they are.
So she still hasn't found the statue.
No, that's just because she hasn't been in this room recently. It's going to get found out, but I have an absolutely credible story about it. So the issue is going to be when Wonder Woman and Zatanna come in. Wasn't there a fourth one I got to? Wonder Woman, Zatanna. Oh yeah, I have one I haven't unboxed. Who the heck was that?
Did you get
Now
the
I've
Swamp
lost.
Thing?
I'm sorry.
Did you get the Swamp Thing?
No, I only get women.
Ah.
Oh shoot, I can't think. But there's one that's still in the box that I haven't unboxed yet. I don't that one's really flashy. Like Jane Foster Thor, she's not that flashy. She can blend in.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I got was way flashy, and I'm trying to think of who it was now. I think it was a Marvel character, and I'm just blocking it because I blocked it out of my mind. I can't think of who it was.
Have you seen that Swamp Thing statue though?
I have, yeah. It's pretty impressive.
Oh my gosh, how gorgeous is that?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And Jay Lewis, man, he just keeps posting pictures of all these statues he gets, and they are gorgeous pieces.
He's going statue crazy. Are they the black and whites that he's getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just gorgeous stuff. Somebody says, is Busick's Iron Man good? I might get it before it goes out of print.
I've only heard that it's good. I haven't read it myself. I've heard that it's good, though.
Is that the Armory War stuff?
I can't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough to say. I've heard good things about it, though.
Yeah, I'm not a big Iron Man guy, so I can't help you out there.
Yeah, I'm not really either.
Other than the Saturday morning cartoon when I was a kid growing up. Did you ever see that?
No.
Jess, you have to watch it. Like the intro for that Saturday morning cartoon Iron Man is where testosterone comes from. It is so goddamn manly. It's ridiculous. Like he is welding without a shirt on, but he's got a mullet going on and he's jacked. And he's using proper eyewear protection, but he still doesn't have a shirt on. I'll send you the link right now. It's a thing of masculinity and pure 90s testosterone.
That's hilarious.
I absolutely love it. Every time and for some stupid reason, I'm fascinated with it, and I think it's awesome. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I watched it as a kid, but it's so badass. Hold on, let me send you a link to it.
Okay.
And I'll even post it in the chat. There really are no words. Stupid advertisements. Video will play after the ad. Let me see. In the meantime, I got a question. Hey, Matt Miranda's in the chat.
Hey, BFF.
People are saying a 90s Iron Man cartoon. Oh, yes. Oh, there is. And you will want to turn up the volume on this and prep yourself for pure testosterone music. There's the link. I put it in the chat. I'll send you the link personally, just to
okay.
Here you go. Send it to you.
Whoa.
Right?
Oh, he's not even wearing headwear. I mean,
No. He puts
eyewear.
the headwear on later. He puts the headwear on later.
Well, he's like some type of god. Oh, yeah, he does have eyewear on there.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a shirt, you know.
Whoa, I feel bad about myself now. Looking at how good a cartoon can look. Whoa.
Isn't that the most metal thing?
That was a pretty rocking song, too.
I know. I want that in the next movie.
Iron Man.
That Tony Stark with a mullet was pure awesomeness. What the hell did I just watch?
I know. That was great.
Oh, you guys are watching where testosterone is made. It's a thing of beauty. If you get a chance, also, there's the in Japan, they actually had their own version of the X-Men, and the intro to that is far more badass than what we got. Let me see if I can send you that.
What are they called? Are they called the X-Men?
I have no clue. Here, let me see. Here we go. It is far more badass than the stuff that they got us stuck with here in the U.S. on Saturday mornings. But yeah, that was my Iron Man. Mullet and everything. I used to love watching as a kid. And I was hopped up on Jolt Cola and Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I've been looking for Jolt Cola since you told me that it's out, and I haven't been able to find it. Have you found it?
I haven't. I have not, but I heard it's coming. I think I sent you even the news article that it was coming back, right?
Yeah, that's why I've been looking for it. I'm totally into getting some.
So we can both get diabetes together.
Get super caffeinated heart attacks.
And right now I'm sending the X-Men anime intro there, and I'll send you it. It actually looks really badass. Like, I want to watch this X-Men, but I don't know if they never got it quite off the ground, if it was just the intro, or if it was an actual cartoon that was an ongoing. But it looks pretty good.
Oh, X-Men the animated series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Japanese though.
I understood mutant.
Yeah, me too.
Whoa.
Right?
That's just Jubilee. Jubilee's like crushing everything by herself.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Oh, shock. Oh, I want to see this.
Right?
Yes. I may not even need translation to get to really enjoy it.
Nah. Now, I don't know if that was an ongoing or if that was as far as they got with it, or I never really looked too much into it, or if it was like a mini series or something.
Wow, that looked awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The one that I found funny was the Japanese 70s was the 70s Japanese Spider-Man intro.
That was a question? Or
No,
a person saying that, or you?
You just said that. Wow. Do you remember the 70s Spider-Man cartoon?
I remember the 60s Spider-Man cartoon where the Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins his webs any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bub, he's got radioactive blood. Okay, that's all I remember.
He's got radioactive blood. That's not a good thing. What was Well, there was another Spider-Man cartoon. I think it was the 70s or the 60s, though, wasn't it? Hold on. Spider-Man classic cartoon theme. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, from the 1960s. Stupid advertisements. Oh my God. In color. They had to broadcast it in color. This video is gonna get flagged to get taken down. I know it will.
At the scene of the crime.
Is this where he has the spider signal?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. His report. Look at him. Great song.
Classic.
I love that song. That's the song I grew up with.
Spider-Man and its Super Friends. That was a thing?
Yeah, Super Friends was great. I used to have Super Friends bed sheets in college.
Did you really?
That went over big.
Did it really?
Sort of.
How did that go over with the women? I'm curious.
They mostly laughed, but it was okay because they were drunk at that point.
Oh my God, Jess.
It was when I was in my fraternity, and it was just a joke, and I never really realized what it meant until somebody else saw them. That's yeah.
Oh man, that's good stuff. But any more questions? Let me see. On the Japanese X-Men, Josh said he's going to bed. X-Men in the intro. Okay, so what happened with the Disney Fox news? Did that flop? I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything past what you saw on the page.
I don't think they haven't said much else. Just that there's a rumor that Disney is in talks to buy 21st Century Fox, which is they can only buy the movie division, which includes like all their movies and like a few of their channels and stuff like that. But they can't buy Fox News, which if it were up to me, they'd buy Fox News and just blow it up,
shut it down,
shut the whole fucking thing down, and fire Rupert Murdoch while they're at it. But I personally don't think that's going anywhere.
I don't have any knowledge of it, so I couldn't comment.
And I wouldn't want it to happen. To be completely honest, as much as I would love to see the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe proper with the films and stuff, we wouldn't get Logan. We wouldn't get Deadpool if Disney had those rights.
Who owns Disney who owns Logan and Deadpool?
That's Fox.
Oh, Fox does.
Yeah, Fox has the rights to that, which is why they haven't been in any of the Marvel Universe proper stuff. They've been just the X-Men stuff. Fox has the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. Right. Now, if Fox wants to give up the Fantastic Four to Marvel, that's fine. But for me, they should keep the X-Men stuff because Logan was fantastic and Deadpool was fantastic. They seem to be on a bit of a roll lately, excluding X-Men Apocalypse, which I thought it was okay. They seem to be on a roll lately with their films. They seem to have finally found their footing and going, okay, we can tell these one-shot films that really aren't tied in together to the X-Men proper universe, and fans will come out and see it as long as it's faithful to the main property and it's a damn well-made movie. We've got the New Mutants movie that's coming out, which I haven't even seen the trailer yet, but I've heard it's a horror film.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Yeah. So what do you think? I've never read New Mutants. Have they at all ever been horror?
Oh gosh, I haven't read New Mutants since the '90s, so I couldn't tell you.
So I mean, I couldn't tell you if it's a new take on them or if it's
I think it is.
yeah, that's what I felt. But again, I haven't seen the trailer. I need to sit down and watch it. I've heard mixed things. I've heard some fans say it looks really interesting, and I've heard some say, I don't know.
I'm up for anything that's new and different, so I like the idea of it being a horror flick.
Hmm. Does Disney own Marvel Comics? Yes, very much so. They own Marvel everything except for Islands of Adventure, the Marvel area and Islands of Adventure. But that was a deal that was struck with Universal way before that. Oh no, Nick is in the chat.
Our former intern Nick,
Former intern Nick. He went off to law school and now he's a big boy now.
didn't he get married too?
He did. Nick got married.
Holy smoke!
And I wasn't, and you and I weren't invited to the wedding.
I know. You'd think that one of us would be ring bearer or something.
Something, man. Disgruntled intern. Nick, no invite for me or Jess, huh? Nothing in the mail. Not even a. Well, maybe we'll send them a card. They probably won't be able to make it.
Not
Although
even a save the date.
Jess can probably make it because he's got a private jet now.
I got the hookup for In-N-Out burgers, that's for sure.
I saw that, man. You're flying in a private jet now?
No, it wasn't a private jet.
Some money bucks?
No, it was cost me $100. So it was a $50 each way flight. He flew free because he's a United pilot. Our rental car was like $30, so that didn't cost much. And we just went to In-N-Out, then we went to 4 comic stores, then we went to In-N-Out again, then we went to the airport and flew back.
Mm-hmm.
It was no private jet, trust me. Those people on both sides of me on that 7 a.m. flight out was miserable. But then I had the whole back to myself on the flight home because nobody uses that flight.
So okay, so you left at what time in the morning?
7:30 a.m. But we had to get there at 5:30 a.m. because we were flying standby to see if we made it on. There was only 8 openings. He checked and said there's 8 openings, and when we got there, but actually he texted me at 5:30 that morning and said, "Okay, we're okay. Here's your boarding pass. Come on out." And because the airport is an hour away from me, it's near him, but it's Dulles, so it's an hour away. But at that hour, I made it in 45 minutes. So yeah, so I didn't really know until 5:30 Monday morning that I was going.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, my dad used to work for American Airlines. He used to throw luggage on planes. The advantage of it is that if you work at an airline, you get kind of like Disney. You get a certain amount of tickets that you can give to people, to family and things like that, with the caveat that it has to be standby flights. And what standby is that you get basically the scraps. You get the leftovers of what's not filled up on a flight. So let's say, Jess, like you, that you flew out that morning at like 7 a.m. You got the leftover seats that they couldn't fill up. So
They were all middle seats, yeah. On a
yeah.
full flight, completely full flight.
Yeah, so you got the leftover seats, but you're able to travel for either for free or pretty much like dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap, yeah, $100.
Yeah, so, and was the In-N-Out worth it?
Oh, totally.
Is that your first time
I think
in
so.
In-N-Out?
No, I've had it hundreds of times. Well, 50s, dozens of times. He and I have been talking about. He's like my comic book advisor. He's the one that advises me on what books to buy, single issues, vintage comics to buy for investment purposes. So I've known him for quite a while, and he used to be in the Navy, and he flew in the Iraq War.
Oh wow, impressive!
Yeah, believe me, he drives like it too. He drove that rental car like he thought it was a Porsche. Ay, ay, ay. So wait, what was my point? So he he got me, yeah, $100 fare, and we flew standby both ways, and yeah, I thought it was totally worth it. One, it's a great story to tell, and two, I got in and out of it. I did not find. I will tell you this: those Southern California bros have picked that area clean of collected editions. I barely found anything.
Nothing good, huh?
No, they have. John Hahn and his cohort have absolutely stripped that place bare.
Nick says you took your helicopter to the airport.
Yeah, I did.
James Atkins asks, "Hey guys, what Batman comics do you recommend? I just got into comics; it would help me a lot."
Gosh, I think. Well,
White Knight, I've heard, is good.
I have too, but I think if he's just gotten into comics, he probably needs a bit of a background. I would say he should start with Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman run.
It's always a good place to start.
And then he can go right into Rebirth, into Detective and Batman. I'm not a fan of All-Star Batman. Excuse me. Not a fan of All-Star Batman.
I tried reading it.
I thought that was kind of a tired effort on Snyder's part, which is really disappointing.
Yeah. I tried reading it. I couldn't get into it. I agree with you. I think Snyder at that point was kind of getting tired of it. Although I've read the first issue of Metal, and I was like, this is actually really good. There's something
I've heard good things about Metal.
Yeah, there's something about that Snyder and Capullo teamwork that just works.
Yeah. But Batman by Tom King for Rebirth, I think, is great.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
Why don't you start him off with Grant Morrison's Batman?
Oh my God, he'd never come back to comics.
No, do not start off with Grant Morrison's Batman.
It's great, but you need more. You need to have more Batman under your belt.
Zorinar,
the Batman of Zorinar.
My favorite part is where he asked the homeless man about information, where Grant Morrison decides to use the the ghostly homeless bum for information bit.
Right.
That bum died 3 days ago. Woo! I love Morrison, but sometimes, man, it's like, ugh. At the sound of huffing paint, turn the page. Good Lagerwurm. Somebody says Halloween, Long Halloween, Hush, Nightfall. Don't start with Nightfall.
Long Halloween and Hush are great stories. Great stories.
I'm not a fan of Hush.
Oh, I loved Hush.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
Okay.
Year One's a great place to start with.
Year One's good too, yeah.
Year One is basically the definitive Batman origin.
Yeah, and then you could go to Dark Knight Returns from that.
Mm-hmm. If you want to drop the hobby and never come back, read Morrison's Batman. Neil Adams Batman.
Oh my God! Don't do that to the guy.
What's wrong with Neil Adams Batman, Jess?
Oh God! Odyssey is easily root beerable.
Some people will tell you to start at you're probably going to be tempted to start at the very beginning, like the Golden Age stuff. Don't do that to yourself.
Oh no, gosh, don't do that.
No, a lot of comic fans, when they are first starting out, when they're fresh into it, they're like, I want to start at the very beginning. I want the old 40s comics, and they have no clue what they're getting into. And then they start.
Yeah, those are like 70 years old at this point, and they show it.
Yeah, your best bet is to start with the New 52 Snyder stuff, because a lot of stuff that's being done today in regards to Batman, people are pulling from that run. Tomasi and Gleason's Batman and Robin is also a good place to start.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah, that just came out in an omnibus.
But you would also kind of need. Well, With what happens to Damien, do you think you would need the Morrison stuff?
Um,
Because that's a big thing that happens.
yeah, that is a big thing that happens. Yeah, I guess I would hold off and wait because then you've got the whole disappearance of Bruce Wayne and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then that leads into Black Mirror with Scott Snyder, which is
yeah,
phenomenal.
which is great, right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe start with year one and then go Dark Knight Returns and then come back and ask.
So year one, Dark Knight Returns, and Scott Snyder's Batman is kind of like a primer.
Sure, I think that'd be good.
I think that's a solid start. Let's see. Anything? Would you ever recommend going back to the Golden or Silver Age? Only if you are a super duper fan. That's from Attack on Louis.
Oh yeah. Hey, Attack on Louis. Um, what was his question? Would you recommend going back to it?
Yes, to the Golden or Silver Age, or only if you're a super duper fan. Like if
I think I'd have to say only if you're a super duper fan like me. I grew up with the Silver Age, so I love it, but it doesn't compare. A lot of the art is good, but a lot of the stories are not that great, quite frankly. So, but they appeal to me because of the nostalgia factor. Like Nightfall appeals to those of your generation that grew up with it.
Not to me.
I know Nick Munoz is a big fan of it, or else he just loves torturing me with it.
I'm telling you, you're gonna get on your doorstep this Christmas a nice big Nightfall omnibus from somebody.
That is a total waste of money. Don't do it.
It's just
Save
gonna,
your money. I will throw that thing out. I will not even read it. I will throw that thing out.
It's you could donate it to like a children's hospital or the library.
Well, no, that's true, but those people could too. I guess they think it's funny to send it to me. What would be funny is to send me Kevin Smith's Batman, and that I will pour root beer on. I will read it again, just how awful it is, and that I will definitely pour root beer on.
Somebody's saying pour root beer on it. What are the essential mangas to read? This is more me.
That's you.
Okay. Having just dived really heavily more into manga over the past few years, I would say you have to read Berserk, 20th Century Boys. Let me think. What else? I'm reading Hunter x Hunter right now, or Hunter x Hunter, depending on who you ask. And that's phenomenal. Monster, Akira, which the Shakira box set just came out.
Shakira.
Akira is definitely a must read. Let me think what else.
Did I show you how my Akira box set has already gathered dust?
Did it really?
Yeah, check it out. Can you see it properly?
Oh, wow. That's great. Did yours arrive in decent condition? Because I've heard some of those Amazon orders were banged up.
Yep, it came fine.
Good for you. One Piece, yeah, One Piece is good. Full Metal Alchemist for sure. You need to read Full Metal Alchemist. But out of everything, my favorite manga is 20th Century Boys. So I always recommend somebody to read 20th Century Boys. If you're a fan of things like It, where the actions of a certain group of individuals, that what happens to them as kids affects the future and affects what happens to them as adults, then you'll really enjoy that.
I've just read Uzumaki, and that's extremely disturbing.
Uzumaki's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It's so great.
Uzumaki's really fucked up. If you don't want to sleep at night, then Uzumaki's a good book for you.
Yeah, it stuck with me. I finished it a couple weeks ago, and it's still sticking with me. I finished it well before Halloween.
Tokyo Ghoul's pretty good. That's an interesting read so far. There's of course also newer stuff like Assassination Classroom. Baby, what manga would you recommend or anime for somebody starting out?
Full Metal, of course, or Soul Eater.
Full Metal. She said Full Metal Alchemist. Like I said, she also said Soul Eater. She's watched a lot more anime and manga than I have.
Those are the easiest things to get into.
Yeah, those are kind of like the gateway. What about Seven Deadly Sins?
Yeah, that too.
You enjoy that? Okay. Pluto's great, and so is Death Note. You read Death Note, haven't you, Jess? Or you saw the anime?
I have it, and I haven't read it yet.
Have you seen the anime?
I haven't. I've only seen, as far as anime goes, I've seen Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo.
Oh, that's right. And you love Cowboy Bebop.
Is that bad? Exactly.
I loved them both. Yeah, I loved them both.
You loved them both?
Yeah, I just need to. I want to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood next.
I got my brother hooked on that, and he loves it.
Yeah, I bet it's supposed to be great. I'm fully open to anime and manga. I just haven't. There's just no way I'm going to be able to get into manga because I have such a backlog of other stuff. But I'm open to anime.
Since I pretty much don't have much else to read now, I've just been diving more into manga lately.
I've been reading.
Watch Space Dandy if you like Cowboy Bebop. I have no clue what Space Dandy is.
Okay. Space Dandy.
Somebody's saying that, yeah.
Who's saying that?
And then there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, yeah, Riley loves that.
Yeah, Riley loves JoJo. He's been reading that for a while, though. My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia manga or anime? They follow each other so closely, it's pretty much interchangeable. But I love the manga. The new volume just came out. I just got it yesterday, in fact. I need to sit down with it. Okay, any other questions? I can be on for about another 10 minutes, and then I gotta get ready for tomorrow because it's an early morning for me. Oh, oh my God.
Oh, you're going to make me yawn.
My apologies. So you really spilled Coke on the laptop last week?
Yeah. I was wielding this enormous Little Nemo book and trying to show right after you left the show photo bait, and closing the book, it tipped the Coke over onto my laptop and this immediately fried everything. And I was hosting the show, so it didn't go off air immediately. It took a little while to go off air, but I was hosting the show. It was getting towards the end anyway, but I think the screen just went black, and that was the end of the Omni Bros Live.
I gotta say, you have the worst luck when it comes to the live streams. These live streams are bad for health.
It's really easy, and something always goes wrong for me. I'm going to make sure, for the next 10 weeks, I'm not asked to host Omni Bros Live. And they will happily say, okay, because I screw it up every time. It's like, hit the live stream. Okay, put in the address and go to it. And no, something screws up. The camera's not switching. And I just, I don't know why that camera won't switch when I sign up. I swear I am a relatively savvy tech operator, but it is, it's fairly new to me, but it's really just a couple of pushes of the buttons on YouTube, and it messes up for me all the time.
Sakura Darling says, since the holiday season is coming up, what trade paperbacks would you recommend gifting? Crossed.
You sound like Gabe.
Because nothing says holiday cheer like Crossed.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
2 all ages books that I think are great are Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur from Marvel, and Super Sons, if you know what's going on in Rebirth. if you understand who the Super Sons are, that's a good all ages book. But I think Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is really good. And of course, I love Unbelievable Gwenpool. Just I love it to death. So I mean, that Unbelievable Gwenpool is just a hilarious book. It's so self-referential. It's just breaks the fourth wall repeatedly. It's just hilarious. So I would suggest that.
Good choice.
I wouldn't suggest anything that has super long continuity behind it, like Batman or Superman or Wolverine or anything. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaurs, 3 or 4 trade paperbacks, really cheap. And you said, I think you told me that they're in the Scholastic book choices, right?
Right. The thing about Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is that on a monthly basis it sells poorly, but the reason the book is still around is because on the Scholastic's book fair route, it sells like gangbusters. Like little kids love the book, and it sells really well. So that's really the only reason why this thing hasn't been canceled yet.
Okay, that's good to know.
So when Marvel haters and people go, oh my god, like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur it's pathetic, it doesn't do well. It actually, the problem is with the numbers that they're looking at, the guys that are really critical, is that those numbers don't account for Scholastic's book sales. And books like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur sell really well through there, which is why they haven't been pulled from the plug yet.
And that's a great way to get kids into comic books. And so I'm glad that Scholastic is such a big supporter of it.
As far as recommendations, with the new Thor movie coming out, I would recommend, what was the name of the one with Chris Samney? Thor the Mighty Avenger a few years ago?
I didn't read that one.
Really? It's fun, man. You really should. It's really good.
Okay.
That's a really fun all ages.
My Thor knowledge is pretty thin, I have to admit. I know Jason Aaron's Thor, and I know like Stan Lee's Thor, and that's like about it. Anything in between, I'm terrible on, which is like everything.
Nick Munoz says, the way I get my kids into comics is by not feeding them until they read them. That's a way to do it. That's a good way.
That's a way.
Reed Simonson's Thor and Aaron. That's, I don't know. For kids, are we talking about kids or somebody like our age? You got to be a little bit more specific, because for kids,
I think if it's for a new comic reader, you got to go with something that's really reader friendly.
Aaron Thor isn't too bad though.
As long as you know who Thor is, yeah. If you have a working knowledge of Thor, and Midgard and Asgard and Rightgard and everything else, then you'll be okay.
Yeah, you should be fine with that.
Miles Morales Spider-Man, how about that?
That's a good
The
start.
Ultimate Collections?
Yeah, that's a good place to start with for kids.
Or anybody, really.
Mm-hmm. Or hell, just give them Preacher. Nothing like a
little old arse face.
Yeah. Nothing like a little bit of sacrilegion on your Christmas holiday.
Have you been watching Preacher?
Okay.
I have.
My girl has. She loves it.
Okay.
I made it through the first season, and I thought the first season was pretty terrible. To the point where I think you should only watch the first episode and the last episode of the first season.
Right.
With that said, season 2 kicks things off with a bang, and I've seen about 7 episodes of it, and they have turned that ship around very much so.
Oh, cool.
It is a lot better. Season 2 gets... They finally get back on the fucking road, which is what they needed to do from like 3 episodes into season 1.
Yeah.
And the characters, Jesse isn't 100% where he should be as in relation to his comic book counterpart, but for the most part, what they do with Tulip is a lot better. And Cassidy, they've nailed Cassidy from the very first season.
Mm.
It sticks closer to the comics and it's much stronger for it. And it does deviate. It does deviate. But where it deviates, it does a really good job of it. I have never seen a comic adaptation do such a 180 where it seemed like, okay, they looked at everything wrong with the first season and they looked at fan backlash and they said, we have to right this wrong. We got to prove we got a second season and we only got really one more shot at this to really fix this before this gets canceled. And they did a hell of a good job in the second season from what I've seen so far. And they turned it around. They've got a third season already approved. They've announced that there will be a third season of Preacher. And I'm willing to look past a lot of the mistakes, especially in regards to Jesse's father and things like that. But it's a lot better. The second season is definitely worth watching too. Like, just follow what I'm telling you. Just watch the first episode of Preacher and the last episode of the season, then jump into season 2, and it'll fill you in really well.
Okay.
Oh, somebody says Miss Marvel to give away for Christmas. That's a good idea.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I love that book.
Yeah. Nick says he likes to gift people Invisibles for Christmas.
No, he doesn't.
That's terrible.
Invisibles.
I'm
trying to look to see what else would be a good suggestion. Superior Foes to Spider-Man. If you know anything about Spider-Man, that was a fun book.
That's so fun. It doesn't even have Spider-Man in the book really, and it's such a blast.
No, you just need to know a little bit about who those foes are, but actually you don't, I guess.
Day Tripper, if you want somebody crying.
Yeah, that's a great book.
I Hate Fairyland.
That's a great book, but I don't know that I'd give that to someone.
They're coming out with a hardcover.
Yeah, I'll be getting that. I do love it.
Klaus was good. I still have Klaus, but I haven't read it yet.
Klaus is great.
Good
yeah, that's
Christmas.
Something anybody could read. Yeah.
Good Christmassy story.
Sort of.
Omega Men. You guys are talking more older readers. Saga for older readers. I could see Saga, although Saga's tailed off for me in the past few issues. I do like Fat Will, though.
I'm just looking around my room to see what else would be good.
Are you caught up on Saga? Pretty caught up?
No, not even remotely close.
Oh, wow. Never mind. I should shut up. Oh, here's one. Jess, have you seen Stranger Things Season 2?
I have not.
What?
No, I had
Man.
I had a super busy weekend, and then I went to In-N-Out Burger, and last week I said I'm going to watch it like every day. I don't want to binge it. I want to watch one episode a day, and I just haven't got there yet. So don't say anything. Don't say anything yet.
I liked it. I didn't think it was as strong as the first season, but I still liked it. It's fun. It's
okay.
Fun.
Yeah, I think this weekend I want to watch an episode a day. I should have it in me.
I'm really surprised you haven't, man. We've been talking about Stranger Things all year for what it seems.
I know. Well, it's sort of like a Christmas present I don't want to unwrap because I don't want to start it because then I know it's going to be over. And so I'm sort of just I don't know. I just am I don't want to start it yet. Although I am very excited to.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. And then you get to episode 7 and it just...
Is it just 7 episodes or is it 8?
It's 9 episodes.
9, okay.
Right.
Don't say anything more. Don't say anything more.
You get to episode 7 and it derails the pace.
I took my headphones out. I can't hear what you said.
Episode 7.
Episode 7 was terrible. My girlfriend said, fuck you, episode 7 was great.
Okay, good.
I thought it just derailed the story.
Don't say anything more.
I won't say anything more.
God damn you, laddie.
And then it picks up again after that.
Well, I'm going to agree with your girlfriend without even having seen it.
She's probably right. I don't know. Anyway, it's 10:43 and it's getting pretty late, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Jess, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube. I have a channel called Omnidog's Vault, where I do a thing called Root Beer Reviews, where I drink root beer and review comic books and talk about stuff, all comic related. And I'm also on Riley Moore's Facebook page, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community, where I'm a mod there. And I'm going to kick Nick Munoz out for a day. He needs a break.
I don't know. Should I take Nick Munoz's power away? He's a mod in this chat.
He is? Oh, yeah, that's right. You made him a mod in these chats.
I don't know why. I made Nick and Matt. I told you this. I made Nick and Matt mods, and Nick's first move, and the minute he was a mod, was that he banned Matt Miranda from the channel. Like 5 minutes. So then I just made Matt a mod.
That's hilarious. I forgot about that.
I think Nick banned like 4 people that night alone on that one. It was a good one. Mindhunter is good. Mindhunter is real good. Okay. Before we keep going, I'm just going to go ahead and close this out. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Jess and Lewis answer your questions for the week of November 8th. I've been very sporadic. I've just started a new job. I've just taken on a whole shit ton of a lot of responsibilities, and we are in the process of trying to find a new place and moving and a whole lot of other junk that's going on personally. Facebook, Twitter, those are the best way to get a hold of me in the description. Patreon in the description as well. You know the deal. But hope everything is going well with everybody, and I wish you all a good night. And
peace and love. Peace and love.
See if we could do another one of these, maybe sometime this week. Would you be up for another one of these? Maybe sometime this weekend?
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
Always.
Night, guys. Bye.